All right, guys and ladies, just FYI, Alex is here today, filling in for Mark, who is down with the COVID. Mark will be back hopefully not next episode, but the week after that. Mm-hmm. So
maybe he'll have like mutant powers.
Oh, that would be awesome. The GraveTalk mutant.
That'd be like he can like edit 3 podcasts at once.
He could be our link to the mutant fam.
That'd be dope.
I mean, he might have the dubious superpower of shortness of breath.
Well, I hope not. I hope he's okay. We're hoping for a full recovery. Mark, hang in there, buddy. Everyone still be safe out there. Wear your mask. If you're in populated areas, like really crowded areas, be safe, be smart. We're still not out of this completely yet, but let's get back to it. All right. So, podcast. Today we're talking about a movie that revolves around a birthday. So let me ask you guys, what is your most memorable birthday present you've ever received? We go now to Alix.
I have no recollection of any birthday gift I have ever received.
Wow, I've literally given you birthday gifts as we've dated.
I know, and I cannot remember anything right now.
But she values them very highly, I'll tell you that.
I do indeed.
This is what it sounds like when a grown man cries on a podcast.
What about when doves cry?
I'll record that all day. It's beautiful. John, what you got?
Okay, well, one of the hosts of this podcast, maybe both, I don't remember, gave me what the fuck was that? Gave me what the fuck was that? Gave me what the fuck was that?
Oh my God.
A statue of the killer clown. Go me.
Yes, it was the popcorn kernel that turns into the weird killer clown mouth monster thing.
That's pretty cool. That's in my house next to my treadmill. So when I'm running, I can look over and know what I'm training for.
It motivates you to run.
Exactly. Because cardio that's rule number 1. Zombie Land. Check it out.
Yeah, that was a pretty rad present. Yeah, that was from both of us.
Yeah.
But I will give credit to Mark. Mark is the one that found that, and I was like, yo, that's it right there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That thing was awesome. I've had a lot of great memorable presents. I've gotten some really amazing like original comic book art. I also had a really cool birthday when I was a little kid. I got a cake with battle beasts all over it. Ooh. It was like 20 battle beasts, like just decorating the cake. And back in the day, that was like gold to me. Battle beasts were the shit. I remember that one pretty good. I also got like this little like mask that is like MASK with like periods between the letters. It stood for something. What's that, an acronym?
MASK?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember the word. But anyway, like you could put on your bike and you'd push the back of him and he'd say things like, let's go to action. Like these really cool, like motivating things. So when I'd ride my my bike around the neighborhood, man, nothing could stop me.
The only birthday I remember is my last birthday, and I think I went to the botanical garden.
Whoop,
I guess I'll just have to make this next one a big one.
Maybe, or just actually try to remember whatever happens. Maybe take a picture. We have cameras on our phones now. Hey, all you, wait, what do we call them?
We call them creatures from cyberspace.
Creatures from cyberspace. God, we are just hanging in there today. Welcome back to another episode of the GraveTalk podcast. As you can tell, Mark is not here today, so it is pure fucking chaos. Today we are talking about a movie called Happy Death Day. Mm-hmm. We are joined by John.
Yep, as
How you
always.
doing?
Fine.
That's
better than I expected.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's always positive. And joined by returning guest, co-host, whatever you want to call her.
Star of the show.
Oh, snap.
Factual, though, yeah.
Alix, how are you doing?
I'm great. Can you tell? I'm not tired at all.
That was the worst Tony the Tiger impression I've ever heard.
I have infinite energy, and I am totally on right now.
Yeah. This is like what happens with that bag cereal that's on the bottom of the grocery store when you pull it out and it's like Timmy the Tiger.
They're good.
Yeah. Good enough.
Oh, man. And, of course, Garrett. I think I may have said my name. If not, I'm Garrett. Y'all know me. You love me. You can't get enough of me. You may also hate me. Either way, I'm here. You can't do anything about it. It's my podcast now. So what have you guys been up to? You watch anything cool recently? Do anything? I know, Alix, you and I went to Texas Frightmare recently.
Yes, which was a delight. Ran into Lance Henriksen in the bar line. That was cool.
You shook his hand.
I did.
You talked to him one-on-one.
Very nice.
That dude is a trip. That guy's so rad.
Yeah? That is dope.
He spent like at least a quarter of his panel talking about these like service dogs that were in the audience. Like, what's their name?
And another quarter bitching about William Shatner.
Yes.
It was a delight.
Oh, he was going off on William Shatner. But yeah, Lance Henriksen was there. He was rad. We ran into a couple of friends. It's always fun just socializing with people at events like Frightmare and seeing everyone's costumes. There was some really great costumes. Some Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Howard the Duck.
There was an amazing Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck cosplay, I believe, is what the account's called on Instagram. Follow that kid. He has got a rad Howard the Duck. We got some cool shirts. I got a Vampiros Lesbos shirt. I got a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt. We got a couple of awesome prints. I got a Monsters Incorporated print, which I know is not super horror, but it's got monsters in it.
It's got monsters in it.
It's in the name.
Thank you, Sarah Deck, for bringing that print, because I've been wanting to get that and I hadn't done it for a long time, but got the last one. But yeah, Texas Frightmare was awesome. We gave out a bunch of cool merch. We'll have some of that up on these stores as soon as we get that going. We got some GraveTalk stickers in from our vendor this week. They look fantastic. John, I'll give you a couple to hand out to your people in town.
Yeah.
And
I'm just going to stick them on flagpoles.
That's cool, man. Spread the word.
Or actually on the flag itself.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
Pirate flags.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just pirate flags.
No, 51st star, our sticker.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. GraveTalk State.
We got an episode coming up where we're going to talk about a movie, Wolf Creek. And I'm going to watch a bunch of werewolf movies and talk about those beforehand.
So this is a horror movie where there's a creek, but instead of water, it's wolves, right?
The creek howls.
That is my understanding.
Okay. So if it's not that, I'm about to be very disappointed.
Well, you know what? If that was the week you weren't going to be out, you'd be able to watch it with us.
That's true. Yeah, if it's not for the podcast, I actually don't watch movies. So
That's true. That's true.
And at risk of spoilers, you know that Wolf Creek doesn't have a werewolf in it, right?
I am aware.
Okay.
But it's got the word wolf in it.
Are you going to watch River movies as well?
Are you going to watch A River Runs Through It?
I don't need to watch River. I memorized River Runs Through It.
Without a paddle?
That's the one with fly fishing, right? Okay.
Deliverance. They were on a river there.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Now that's kind of horror-y.
Yeah.
That'd actually be more thriller if you really want to get into this argument again.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding. No, we're not going to get into this
Let's
argument.
diverge for about
I know.
45 minutes.
I know. What you guys been up to?
Well, I just got off a plane back from Colorado, and this is not really horror related, but it is cool. I went to the Meow Wolf Convergence Station in Denver, which was super badass. If you're not familiar, it's an art collective, and they build these gigantic interactive art installations. And we were there for 2.5 hours and weren't even able to fully scratch the surface of everything that's going on there. So there's one in Denver, there's one in Santa Fe, which is the original, and then there's one in Las Vegas. So if any of y'all are in any of those areas, highly recommend. It was a wonderful evening out.
John, you done anything at all with your life?
No. That's not horror related. Let's see. I'm watching Only Murderers in the Building. Great show on Hulu.
That's the one with Steve Martin and Martin Short, right?
That's the one. And
Okay.
Selena Gomez.
That looked fantastic.
It is like 4
Selena
episodes
Gomez of Knives Out fame.
No, what?
No.
That's Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
No. Selena
like-
Gomez was out in Knives Out.
She's absolutely not in Knives Out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I thought she was the
She's in Disney Plus.
No, she was the girl that like was the not the butler, but like
That's Ana de Armas.
Yeah, you're thinking Ana de Armas.
Oh, it is Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else? Oh, I watched the first Fast and the Furious movie again.
So
you know what?
nothing horror related.
It really holds up, though.
It
that
really
movie
does.
is legit good.
It's like family.
I was
know?
keeping an ear for the first. They don't say family in the first Fast and Furious movie. Tune
At
in
all.
every.
The word is not said at once.
Not once. What he does say is that he lives his life a quarter mile at a time, which, you know what, I relate to. I plan to watch all the Fast and Furious because I haven't seen most of them. So I will tune in, listeners. I'll let you know when Family makes its first
I'm
appearance.
telling you, you know what? Not horror related, but give us the full Fast series recap.
I will.
But do it quickly.
Rank them. I want you to rank 'em.
Cars, and then less Cars, then The Rock. And I haven't seen it, but I understand in 9 they
I
go
just
to
want you to
space.
throw Pixar's Cars in the middle of that list somewhere. Just like, like Fast 1, Fast 2, Cars 2.
Yeah. Well, there's 9 of these. So listeners, like in December, I'll tell you, the official GraveTalk non-horror Fast and Furious car movie ranking.
Are you one of those boys who prefers cars to women?
I'm one of those boys that appreciates a fine body regardless of the make.
Anyway, we're talking about Happy Death Day. 2017, I guess we would call it homage to the movie Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Is every time loop movie though an homage?
I don't know if everyone is, but this one's very blatantly. I mean, they
do
I have
bring
a
it up
note.
at the end.
They referenced it at the end, which I was not happy with. But this one's PG-13. It's an hour and 36 minutes, which I feel like was a really good time frame for this because every time I thought it was over, it kept adding a little bit something new. And I was like, okay, I kind of liked being surprised and not knowing that it wasn't finished yet.
Yeah, the second to last loop was a good tricky one.
This was directed by Christopher Landon. It was written by Scott Lobdell, which I think might be the comic book Scott Lobdell, but I'm not positive about that. Please, audience, let me know.
Wikipedia agrees with you.
All right, Scott Lobdell has done some badass comics, so
Christopher Landon is also is a very prolific gentleman. I think we've even done movies that he's done in our podcast.
Looks like he's done a lot of paranormals activities.
Yeah.
okay. He also did Freaky.
It's like Attorneys General. It's Paranormal's activity.
Okay, this movie stars Jessica Roth. I did not know who this was. I was like, is this the Captain America chick or Captain Marvel chick? I could not.
Oh, she's like a way, way better actress than Brie Larson.
Okay, Brie Larson, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I just could not place her face. I was like, she looks familiar, but like I couldn't tell who she was. So I'm glad to know that it wasn't Brie Larson because I was
Yeah.
going to feel really bad about not recognizing her.
Oh, no. It is Jessica Roth, who deserves to be a bigger actress than she is. She carries this whole movie.
She's got Samara Weaving energy, man. I'm
Yeah.
surprised she didn't get some more stuff. Samara Weaving, what has she done lately too?
She was in The White Lotus, that
okay.
HBO series. That
Good
was
show,
pretty
yeah.
great.
Okay, cool, right on. Good. I'm glad these people are getting work because they really did do a good job.
Yeah, well,
And-
she's not in this movie, though.
No, she's not in this movie, but I'm just saying Jessica Roth has like that
We're
level
just
of energy.
checking in. As Samara Weaving fans, we're just checking in.
Yeah,
That's fair, yeah.
What's Adam Scott been up to? Oh, that's right. He's done that badass show Severance on
Yeah.
HBO, right? Or is it Hulu? Or
It's on Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV. Who the fuck can keep track anymore? But that show is rad. If you haven't watched that, definitely check that out too. But this movie also stars Israel Broussard as Carter Davis, Ruby Modine as Laurie Spengler, Charles Aiken as Gregory Butler,
Gregory.
as Gregory, and a bunch of other people who are in this. But I will point out Rob Mello as John Toombs because he had a pretty major scene at the end there. So some really decent actors. This was kind of during Blumhouse's like big, massive, hard hit renaissance where they were putting out some like heavy hitters still. As far as cash money, this one had a budget of $4,800,000. And opening weekend, it made $26 million. Yo, that's a lot of money. That's no joke.
Dang, not bad. Yeah, they did a lot with 4.8 million. I guess this didn't have a whole lot in the way of effects or anything like that, but I did feel it was effective.
Now that is the kind of that's why we bring her back over and over again. Mark, you got to step it up.
Sparkling commentary.
We're going to have so many comments on the social media.
Yeah.
Get rid of Mark, bring Alix in full time.
Yeah.
You know, Mark's going to edit this episode and edit out all the bad stuff we say
Yeah.
about him.
Take notes. Effective. That's the kind of stuff we expect.
That's just quality wordplay from the GraveTalk pod. Anyway, so Happy Death Day. This is the movie we're going to talk about. As mentioned, it is very much a Groundhog's Day, but horror.
Yeah.
I don't have a back of the box.
I do.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, we don't need Mark at all.
Yeah. I just looked it up right now, though.
Okay,
so.
sweet. We
All
do
right.
need Mark for a little bit.
All right. Happy Death Day is what it starts with.
To the point.
Yeah. All right. From the director of Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. It's one of the better Paranormal Activities. It's not. It's terrible. From the director of Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, and the producers of Insidious, Split, and Get Out. Blumhouse, Split, Get Out, Whiplash. Produces an original and inventive rewinding thriller in Happy Death Day, in which a college student, Jessica Roth, La La Land, relives the day of her murder with both unexceptional and terrifying end until she discovers her killer's identity. Happy Death Day is directed by Christopher Landon, Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, and written by Scott Lobdell and Landon. The end.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah, no, that's actually, I feel like that's a fair back to the box. It's not really, like, it doesn't really grab you. It definitely kind of lets you know what you're getting into.
And that was the back of a DVD, by the way. 2017, they weren't making VHS as far as I know, but, did the best I could. Yeah, no Laserdisc or vinyl video or whatever the hell.
Just start taking like the Singapore black market for VHS copies. Oh God, I would love to start reading like some of the like international back of the boxes to see what they say. Do you think they just straight translate those from the English ones, or do you think they actually like make up their own?
What we should do is put them into Google Translate and then read the nonsense that comes out of us trying to figure out.
I mean, I guess it just depends on whether that movie production company has just strict translation or if they also have localization services.
Okay, fair point. Yeah,
I tell you what, some of these movies, they probably just put English back there and hope for the best. So
that's a possibility.
That's how I write everything in my life. It's in English, and I'm hoping for the best.
And the second piece of information Mark usually brings, Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah. 71% with the critics. That's 161 reviews. 67% audience score with 10,000 plus ratings.
I'm a little surprised the audience didn't like it better. I thought that this was a pretty enjoyable movie.
I can see where they're landing at. There's nothing remarkably memorable about this film. And let me preface that by saying, like, there's a lot that I remember, but like there's nothing that's going to stick with you long term to really, talk about this film unless you're talking about Groundhog Day-esque movies. So I can see why it's maybe a little bit like that low. Also, there's nothing like, gore wise. There's a little bit, but there's nothing to really stand out that kind of, makes the horror community like, whoa, happy Death Day. I'm surprised it's so high with the critics.
Critics loved it. Dan with 2 M's, a super reviewer, and Rotten Tomato gave it 3 stars. He was not a fan, though. I'll tell you what.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At 3 stars, but he still wasn't a fan. Huh?
Well, he said it really wasn't that interesting or well constructed.
I'm going to disagree with the well constructed. I thought they did a pretty good job.
Dan,
I thought it was pretty well constructed. And you know what? Interesting, I guess, is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
There's a lot of continuity. There's a lot of like time travel, time loop continuity stuff that I want to like briefly touch on a little bit that I will say that is definitely not thought out as well as it could have been. But again, when you get into paradoxes and stuff like that, it is hard to reconcile all that. So I'm going to give the writers a little bit of break. Tackling this subject is always going to be a little bit tough and tricky, but I think they did a really good job.
They managed to avoid the pitfall of trying to over-explain how the mechanics of the universe works. Because I feel like unless your mechanics are super, super tight, you are opening an unnecessary can of worms there. And so I kind of like that they just don't even attempt to explain it.
The one thing I agree with you and disagree with you on that is I 100% agree. If you're going to dabble in this kind of thing, it's either best to go and like just kind of like accept it as read and move the fuck on. Or if you're going to explain stuff, you better have it pretty much locked down. Now, the point when they started bringing in the fact that she was getting the scar tissue from all the deaths and bringing that over, that opened up the can of worms of like, okay, well, what else comes over? Does notes come over? Does things that, like, so I have a bunch of like, did this happen?
Well, we
happen?
know notes don't come over because she has to throw all of her belongings out of a window to make a suspect list. And we never see that list again. So,
well, do we not see that list again? So she's making that list every day?
Yeah, she scratches it out a few times, but I think she's remaking the list every time. I don't think it
Nothing
comes with her.
But her biology comes back.
Part of me felt like they should have just left that out, but I think they kind of needed it only to put a time limit on the movie and to create a little bit of urgency because, as she gets killed over and over again, she starts to wonder after, she lands herself in the hospital. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. She starts to wonder if she's going to run out of lives, basically.
Which I thought was the direction they were going with. I thought that was like she had the exact however old she was. Like, I'm 26. She had 26 attempts to do this, which I thought would have been a really cool ticking clock aspect to put on her having to figure this out before it's too late.
Yeah. Well, she had fewer than 26, so it was even a tighter ticking
Well, I know,
clock.
but I'm saying if they had like some kind of like plot mechanic that made it like, oh my God, I've only got 26 tries to figure this out. Like, I better step it up, like that would have been kind of cool. The infinite was I like that idea.
But it's not infinite because she's dying internally.
But we don't learn that till much later. But yeah, once they added that, I was like, okay, cool. I appreciate them putting you don't get to do this forever type thing.
Yeah, it's kind of an Edge of Tomorrow situation where initially Tom Cruise thinks he's going to have, like kind of infinite redos at this. And then for some reason he doesn't. And he knows that he's on his last try. So he has to make, the final push for it.
What?
And I can't remember.
Spoiler. I haven't seen that movie. Is that the one that was called Live, Die, Repeat or something like that?
Yeah, it has 2 names. One, it was Edge of Tomorrow with the tagline Live, Die, Repeat. But then I think it also got released as Live, Die, Repeat.
I know it did really bad. I know it did really bad at the box office. So I think they rebranded it and it had that new title. Because I remember
how
hearing
bad
about
do you have to be for them like, we need to change the name of this movie?
I think it was just they didn't know how to sell it because they couldn't give away the premise of like he can die a million times or whatever. But they were trying to keep that kind of a secret in the advertising originally. And then the second one I saw that was Live, Die, Repeat, that was just like, he's gonna die every day, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just selling it all right here, aren't we?
Yeah. If you like Groundhog's Day, come watch this movie.
Groundhog's Day, Tom Cruise, Starship Troopers-esque. You're gonna love it. And you know what? I did.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tom Cruise is doing his part.
I want to see that though. Like, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I highly recommend it to both of you and everyone else.
Not just us.
No, just you two.
You all can come along for the journey on
That's
this one.
the kind of recommendation that makes movies need to change their name. Only 2 people should watch
Look,
this.
Doug and Jim, if you like this movie, you're going to love this movie. Everyone else, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So Happy Death Day. The movie opens up with the Universal logo happening, and then it rewinds itself, and then it happens, and then it rewinds itself. And I was like, out the gate, we're already putting up with this rewind stuff.
Well, I thought it was clever the first time. Then I thought it overstayed its welcome because it does it like 4 times, and that's like 3 times too many.
3 times. Or
All
something
right,
like that. But whatever it was, it did. It was like, okay.
I get it.
I mean, I was really tired on the plane this morning, and I just assumed my phone was fucking up. So,
Is that the way to watch this movie? Just like half awake?
honestly, yeah, I just felt like I was kind of along for the ride. It was a perfectly pleasant way to spend a flight.
Well, there you go.
That was actually a box quote, so you know.
Yeah.
And then we cut into our main character, Tree, waking up in a bed to a phone call from, I guess, her dad. This ringtone, holy crap.
Can I tell you?
I was worried I was going to have to listen to this multiple times in the movie. And let me tell you, my fears were
Answered.
affirmed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my birthday, and I ain't gotta pick up the phone. Yeah, it's my birthday. Y'all should just leave me alone. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I ain't picking up the phone on my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I ain't picking up the phone on my birthday.
She thinks no one knows it's her birthday.
Yeah.
So when she wakes up to the ringtone of, hey, it's your birthday, answer your phone, or whatever the fuck it
So
is.
you don't have to pick up the phone. You only heard it 72 times.
Oh, wait, you don't have to pick up the phone?
That's what it says. Hey, it's your birthday, so I don't have to pick up the phone.
Oh, I thought it said, hey, it's your birthday, so now you got to pick up
Actually,
the phone.
we're both fucking up. It was just, hey, it's my birthday, and I don't have to pick up the phone.
Oh, I thought it said, hey, it's my birthday, now I have to pick up the phone. Oh, I thought it was like really passive aggressively telling her to answer it.
No, it's telling her not to answer it because
Oh,
it's your
nice.
birthday.
That makes more sense. Wow, we are bad at watching movies.
Oh.
She thought no one knew.
Yeah.
Now, what happened was the roommate, Lori, secretly found out it was her birthday by looking at her driver's license.
Yeah.
So at night, when they went out to party the night before, Lori changed her ringtone to a birthday ringtone and talked to the sorority sisters, and they were going to plan a surprise party.
Wait, did they state that in the movie?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yes.
I don't remember hearing that either, but all right.
After she finds out the surprise party existed and she punches that dude smack in the baby face.
Yeah, yeah.
The next scene is when Carter's like, well, does anybody know it's your birthday? And she's like, well, since my roommate found out, I'm assuming my sorority knows, which means everybody knows. So she's at this point had privy to the fact that they knew about this in secret. That's why she said like everybody knows.
Okay.
Anyway, so she wakes up.
Yeah, let's
it's
go.
her birthday.
She does not have to pick up the phone.
Monday the 18th.
We have made it 10 seconds into the movie.
Do we know what month it is? She wakes
Well, they're
up.
doing pledge stuff though, so it's got to be early in the year.
Oh,
So it
She
must be
also
like
feels like she's
September.
like been in this sorority for like months. The
Yeah.
way they're interacting.
yeah, but you can be in a sorority for a multiple year situation.
Oh, so
Yeah.
maybe she's like a sophomore or a junior.
Well, she's definitely not a freshman.
Oh, she's not?
No, look at her. She's like 30. I mean,
Wow. I don't judge women by the way they look, John.
well, we think
she
she
does,
could
like, older
play a freshman.
Okay, when the movie first started, I thought she was like an older woman who kept getting held back in college just to stay in the
Oh, I thought
sorority.
she was embarrassed to wake up in a dorm room, not because she was from like a highfalutin sorority, but that she was like way past college age and had actually
I
fucked
thought
a
that.
college
That's why I
student.
thought that too. I was like, oh, she's fucking college dudes and she feels weird about it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a whole Rodney Dangerfield situation here.
Back to school.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would watch this movie again if it was Rodney Dangerfield as the role of Tree.
Love it.
So she wakes up. There's a dude across the room, Carter, who we'll find out is a major character, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me from last night. You probably don't know my name. You were pretty wasted." And then we get the whole like, "Oh, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to be here."
No, that is not what happened. She is just she wakes up a total dick to poor Carter. She's just like, I have a headache. Give me some fucking Advil. Like, she's just like a real dick to him. She's very unlikable right now.
Yeah, and that's a note I have. I was like, am I supposed to eventually like this character because we're not on a path for that to happen?
Insults this poor dude. She insults the global warming person.
Yes.
She insults her
Yeah, because
ex or whatever who took her to Subway.
Because after we realized that, like, you know, she hooked up with this dude, Carter, she walks through the quad and we see a bunch of little events that happen that, you know, kind of. And I was watching this scene as all these events were playing off, like a car alarm goes off, a girl asks her to sign a global warming pledge.
Some people get hit by a sprinkler.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
guy creeps on her hardcore. She's leaving.
Yeah, and then some pledges are doing like 63 bottles of beer on the wall, and one of them
99.
falls. Okay, well, whatever it is. Whatever.
63.
Well, they were at 60-something when they were counting. One of them falls over. As I was watching this, I was like, okay, here's our Groundhog moment where she's going to have to fix every one of these situations here. I was pleasantly wrong about that. She does address them later on in the movie, but like I thought she had to change every one of these events, and I was like, wow, movie, you are really laying it on thick right now. But she eventually gets back to her sorority house, the Zeta Omega Sigmas or whatever
They're Kappas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Kappas don't drink chocolate milk, Garrett. so-
Kappas don't eat cupcakes.
Yeah.
I would never fucking be a Kappa. I live off chocolate milk and cupcakes. This is ridiculous. Who would join a fucking sorority that wouldn't let you eat cupcakes?
like a lot of women, many.
Wow. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody, get your lives in order. Eat cupcakes.
Yeah. Also, though, I haven't been in college in like 15 years. So maybe sororities are cupcake friendly now. I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
Cupcake inclusive. I love
Yeah.
it.
I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all eat it, be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
So anyway, she gets back. The head sorority mistress. What do they call that person?
She's probably the president.
No,
Okay.
Head sorority mistress. That's her title. It's on a business card.
Oh, I don't know the name. I've never been in a sorority, okay? I don't know these things. She's like, oh, where were you last night? And then there's this like coy little kind of like that's none of your business. And she's kind of embarrassed and doesn't really say anything. And then she's like, don't forget there's a meeting at lunch. And then she
House
goes up.
meeting.
Yep. Which, is that what they call a sorority?
A house, yeah.
Okay, right on. Oh, I guess,
They
yeah.
live
I
in
mean,
a
if
house.
you live in the house.
Yeah.
Robot house? Okay, that explains it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like, not all members of a sorority or a fraternity live in the house. I don't know. I used to live by all the sororities when I was in college, and usually there's only a handful of spaces in
Weren't
there.
cool enough to get in one, huh? I'm just kidding.
That cut deep. But you know what? Neither was I. I couldn't get in a sorority either.
I never went to college, so I'm just the biggest idiot of all of us here.
But you have seen movies about college,
I
right?
watch
So-
Monsters U like every night almost.
Yeah.
Do you think I would know
Animal
this?
House, perhaps? You know,
I've
Yeah.
never seen Animal House, dude.
He has a Revenge of the Nerds tattoo.
Yeah, there's fraternities there.
Anyway, let's not
The Tri-Lands.
let's not point out how dumb I am, and let's get back to this movie. So she goes upstairs to meet her roommate, Lori, who I didn't know we were supposed to like Lori or not either. It definitely seems like she's a real bitch to Lori.
Yeah, well, she seems like Lori seems much nicer than Tree, though.
And also, she just seems like a serious student who is fed up with having to room with someone who's kind of a hot mess.
Yeah.
Okay, but Lori makes her a cupcake because she secretly finds out it's her birthday, and she's like, "Here, I made this for you." And Tree's kind of like,
She's a total bee about it.
yeah, she's kind of pissed. She's like, "Ugh, how'd you find out?"
Leave me alone. And she, like,
Chunks the cupcake in the trash can the first time.
yeah, she's like, fuck your cupcake. Kappas don't eat cupcakes. And goes to the house meeting or whatever.
Which is the first moment I knew something was wrong. I was like, all right, if we're not eating cupcakes, something's going on here. And
Yeah. Oh, and she goes to class next.
because I didn't know who got killed in this movie. So I was like, oh no, is Lori going to get killed over and over again? Because she's so, like, is she the nice one? And we're supposed to think it's Tree.
You didn't think it was the person who we spent the first 15 minutes
I
of the
did,
movie with?
honestly, I was like, this character is so unlikable. There's no way I could give two shits about her dying. So why would we make it her? Now, granted,
be
the movie does a
bold.
really good job of, it would be bold, but the movie does a really good job of turning that around. But like, man, at first I was like, well, if she dies like 500 times, then so be it. Like, let
Yeah.
it happen.
She becomes incredibly charming and likable. In fact, one of the flaws of this movie is that it happens so fast. By like the third time, you're like, I'm Team Tree. She's the best.
Yeah, except her name's Tree.
My name's Teresa.
Oh, okay. Was it Teresa?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how I missed that.
Okay, if you like just smash together some random sounds from your name, because Teresa, Tree, like, okay, there's a connection there, but it's not direct. Like, what would your smashed up nickname be?
For Teresa?
No, for you.
Oh,
No,
Gar.
for you, damn it.
Gar.
Grit.
Yeah, it would
Oh,
be great.
grit.
That's what my nephews used to call me. Grit. And I'll be like, yep, that's me now. Good old Grit.
I think mine would be like Axe.
Oh, grit and
Ooh.
axe. Okay. There's not
I
a
like
lot
it.
to work with John. It's already one syllable.
Jin.
Yeah.
I'm glad they hear it's Teresa because I was like, I don't know how they got Tree. I was like, did their parents hippies?
So you like followed the whole birthday card or birthday thread,
I'm
but
deep in
missed.
the weeds. I'm deep in the weeds of the science of this, but I could give two fucks
Listen,
about
we're
names.
talking about a tree, not weeds.
Yeah, get it together here, dude. Missed the main character's name.
Back to this movie. Wow, listeners, it is just
This is what happened when Mark's not here.
pandemonium here today. Hang in there. We're gonna get through this.
So the alarm goes off. She's like, fuck, I'm late for class. And apparently what I'd love to know is what her major is, because she goes to some very complicated sounding class.
It's like a medical class. It's like some crazy complicated medical class. And I was like, if you were out getting that shit faced every night, like coming back that late, you've probably missed enough of this where you're not graduating.
Yeah, you would think, but turns out she's sleeping with the professor.
And that's going to get you that A.
Yeah.
That sweet, I'm not paying attention
And
to this
that
class.
D.
Oh, that was right there, man, Garrett.
Look, you know what? I'm sorry the D's not on the brain. I apologize. Do we know that at this time, though? Does she sleep with this professor?
No, we find out a few minutes later.
Okay.
Yeah, she
all
sits
right.
in.
But they share a glance.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Then after class, like, I guess she goes to a hospital because she runs into Lori, and Lori's like, I guess I don't have to ask why you're here.
Okay, I have that note. What was she there for? Like, why was she?
Go
to
sleep
meet
with
the professor.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like a slut joke. Like she was there to get like tested, and I was like, it's too fast to know if you have an STD, dear.
I actually thought the first time I saw this movie, I thought that too. I was like, oh, she's got like syphilis or something.
That's a quick acting syphilis
Yeah.
right there. But that's the thing. I was like, what's too fast to get any kind of results? I don't know what she means by that. But okay, so she was there to see. So that dude in the hospital was the same teacher from the class.
Yeah.
All these white dudes look the same. I don't know.
He does look like super low rent Carrie Elwes.
Carrie Elwes.
He does. Holy shit, he does. You know who also? What's the guy from The Office? Andy Bernard.
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms, the gay guy who's secretly gay in this, looks like a buff Ed Helms. Pretty
More like
cool.
Shred Helms.
Boom!
Oh.
God, you were on top of it. We got to get
Yeah.
you sleep deprived more often.
Oh, we did skip. So that guy took Tree to Subway on their first date. Now, is that a good first date or not?
That's fine.
In college, I'd say it's fine.
Yeah, I would agree. Where did she want to go? And then she made a really mean footlong joke.
Oh, I felt really bad for this dude because regardless of like the interaction and what they actually have going on, like he at least took her out to dinner, which I feel like if someone's willing to at least feed you, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, you should be appreciative of that.
And you know what? She also mentioned getting someone fired from TJ Maxx. So it's not like she's exclusively going to super fancy places. If you are okay with shopping at TJ Maxx, you should also be okay with eating at Subway.
Maybe she just goes to TJ Maxx to get people fired.
Maybe I'm
she doesn't
being a
actually
hypocrite
shop
because
there.
I would shop at TJ Maxx, but I won't eat at Subway.
Yeah, but not in college anymore. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So, Tree, get it together here, girl.
Yeah. So she's at the hospital to not get an STD test, but
No.
to see her teacher who she's fucking evidently.
Yeah.
Well, she runs into Lori, as you guys say, and
Yeah.
Lori is basically like, I know why you're here. And they share this like really hostile moment. Mm-hmm. And so we're to understand that Lori knows that she's having sex with the teacher.
And is not happy about it.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's right. Because the end. God, I forgot about the end part. The whole crux of this bullshit.
It's not very obvious when you're watching it through the first time, but if you've seen they do a good job. Like this movie does hold up at least on one rewatch. You'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there.
I will point that out. That is a really good point, John. Is like the movie with Groundhog's Day type movies, like everything should mean something. Everything's important to some degree. This movie did a really good job of not making me think I should be keeping tabs on all these items because they're all going to play into something later. Like it really sucked me right in. I was like in for the story right away. So she goes and meets the professor up in his office.
She does an incredible kick.
Oh, yeah, and wedges the chair under the door handle. Amazing.
Yeah. So we know martial artist, maybe? It was,
Possibly.
Yeah, gymnast, something like that.
Maybe she's the
Dancer?
Matrix.
Dancer.
Like,
yeah. It was impressive. I could not.
Lucky kick.
No, she's done that before.
Okay.
It was smooth.
That was confident.
Look, you fucking up professors. You learn how to kick a chair under a door.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like one of
That's
the-
just how it is.
one of the first things you learn.
But as they're making out, because she just goes hard on him.
Yeah.
And
Hard
like,
on.
boom, the door rattles, and it's his wife trying to come in. Now, this always pisses me off in movies because the guy's all like, oh, honey, have I introduced you to my student Tree? I was helping her with some stuff, blah, 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 blah. And the student immediately goes like, nice to meet you. Gotta go. Like, never do that.
Yeah, just
Never
be cool about it. Say, like, thanks
go
for
ahead.
helping me review my biochem notes. I was really confused about this reaction.
Are we done here? Can I go?
Yeah.
Like, don't basically immediately panic and run away scared. If you want to give up the game immediately, that's how you do it.
Take it from an expert.
Take it from I have not fucked a lot of professors, okay? I can't say I haven't fucked none because I don't know everyone's profession, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. You don't get their resume?
The number could be 0. The number could be more than 1.
Fair. Yeah, and the wife's like, she knows something's up.
Oh, yeah, she gives that look.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, the door was jammed. Like, you could do better than
Again,
that.
My God, people. Like, and again, I don't condone cheating on people. That's not what you should be doing.
No.
But Jesus, if you're going to do this stuff, take a class. Like, read a pamphlet. Learn any basic. If you're gonna
So you decided to cheat on your wife.
if you're gonna do anything in life, just do it right. Like, just put the effort in. These people put zero effort into covering this shit up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she runs out, and at this point,
It's the house meeting now.
okay, the lunch house meeting. Now, this scene, I'm so pissed. I have to watch this over and over and over again in this movie.
Yeah, there's some like bullying going on here. Big
Who's
time.
the main chick? Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Anyway,
sorority headmistress.
Yeah, the head sorority mistress. So Stephanie's having the meeting, and they're talking about what, picking a charity,
Yeah, and they don't want to work with the special ed kids because she finds them creepy.
which is typical Stephanie.
Yeah.
Tree is sitting there at the meeting, and in walks in.
This is Becky.
This is
Becky.
Becky. Okay.
Yeah, who shows up with a tray of actual food items
It's a salad and a cup of chocolate milk or something like
and
that.
like one other thing. It's like a totally normal.
There's a muffin on there.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
where we learned that
muffin.
Kappas don't eat muffins.
Oh, okay. I knew there was something that like
was a
Stephanie
pretty-
finds completely offensive, and like it's because of the carbs, I guess.
And
Yeah.
she's very mad about the chocolate milk.
And she's like, I'm sorry I didn't eat breakfast. She's like, none of us ate breakfast, Becky. I'm like, all right, pump your brakes.
Yeah.
You could have eaten breakfast. There's no law.
And she goes, Tree, what's wrong with that? And she's like, we don't eat muffins or whatever, or something like that.
Tree jumps in on the bullying, and poor Becky gets up and like,
She goes, she basically about to cry.
Yeah.
Because of her very well balanced meal that she has is not good enough for Stephanie and the other Kappas.
I think
And
she went
so
off screen and drank 2 chocolate milks in spite, because that's what I would do.
I would have looked at Stephanie and been like, bitch, watch this. Just
Yeah.
drank it right there.
I'm going to go get a gallon of this shit now.
Oh, drink your chocolate milk, girl.
So just a gallon of regular milk and a Hershey squeeze bar. or bars. squeeze
bar.
container.
Wow.
Yeah. And just
I
go
love a
to
good
it.
Hershey squeeze bar.
Yeah, those are the best. Yeah, if you don't know about them, it's a Antarctic candy.
Okay.
It's a
only.
southern thing.
Business idea chocolate milk bar called the Hershey Squeeze Bar.
Yeah, Hershey's get at us.
Just basically make chocolate gushers and call them the Hershey squirts.
Oh, Hershey squirts. Okay, maybe we got to work with marketing on the naming, but
So anyway, Becky gets up about to just burst into tears, and as she's about to like run off, she smashes into Carter, the dude from earlier in the bedroom,
Chocolate milk everywhere.
all over
Mayhem.
Tree. And Tree's like, "Oh my god, how could?" And then like Carter's like, "Oh hey, what's up, Tree?" And they're like, "Do you know this guy?" Because evidently Carter looks like the kind of guy you wouldn't ever be with.
yeah,
He looks completely fine.
It's a very classic reverse situation where we're supposed to believe that Carter is like this super nerd, but he's obviously like a very conventionally attractive person.
He's a hottie.
Yeah.
He had a They Live poster. You know he's a cool dude.
Yeah. So,
Glad to hear I'm a cool guy.
but it's movie unattractiveness,
Yes.
which in regular is
He's gonna take his
Which-
glasses off later and become hot.
exactly.
Which means you can't tell he has six-pack abs through his shirt.
Yeah.
But you know he's done some crunches.
Yeah,
So-
guys, he's totally like, yeah, whatever. But he's supposed to be like a hideous, like,
I think he's just supposed to be a
He's
big old
supposed to
nerd
be
or
Garrett, is
something.
basically what he's supposed to be. You're supposed to look at him and go, ugh, I'm pretty positive I can do better.
And he's probably a poor because he has to live in the dorms
Yeah.
and not a house.
They did say something about him like living in a.
well, she
the
wakes up, she's
dorms.
like, I can't believe I woke up in a dorm or whatever. Or am I in a dorm? Or she's very upset about it being a dorm.
Saigon. I can't believe I'm back in Saigon. She's like, do you know this guy? And she's like, no. And he's like, yes, at the same time. So, this is the most.
But he plays it cool. He plays it way cooler than she does in the office with the professor's wife.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's just like, oh, we had a class together last year.
yeah, he picks up on like, oh, I'm not supposed to be saying that I know her. at
This is like clue number 2 that Carter's a nice guy because he could have been a huge dick about it. But instead, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to embarrass her in front of her
Look,
friends.
he knew he was hitting out of his league on that one. He knew he hit a home run on that one. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to go back up to bat again.
But I guess we could spoil like 20 minutes in the future. He didn't actually sleep with her. He just put her to bed, folded up her pants, and slept next to her.
Just
Classy
a
dude.
super nice guy.
Yeah.
No, he slept in his
Yeah, he
roommate's
slept
bed.
in a separate bed. Yeah, next to her made it sound. Yeah.
He made the roommate sleep in his car.
Yeah.
That smells like Hot Pockets and socks.
Yeah, which to me is like, dude, that's your problem.
Sock pockets, if you will.
Yeah.
Sock pockets.
Why do you have your car smell like sock? Go get it washed.
Well, it's because he's having to sleep in his car all the time because Carter's pulling in that pussy nonstop.
That fine vagina.
That fine when he said vagina, I was like, oh boy.
Because it's a rhyme with fine.
Oh, he's a poet and he didn't know it.
Yeah, I think
like
he
it.
did know it. He was really proud of it.
You think he worked on that all night in the car?
Yeah, that's what he was thinking of.
Workshop that?
He's
Okay.
got a notebook. He scratched out like, different iterations of it.
Radical pussy? No, that's not great.
Yeah.
Radical vagina.
Radical vagina needs a reunion. Shauna, where are you?
Anyway, so yeah, no, Carter plays it off pretty well, and he's like, "Hey, I brought you back your bracelet." And she was like, thank you. And then she gets a call from her dad, a voicemail, because her dad's been calling her all day.
Yeah.
And she gets a voicemail. He's like, I can't believe you stood me up on today of all days. This is terrible.
He wasn't mad. He was more depressed.
Like, I waited at that restaurant for an hour, blah, blah, blah. Which
he sounded kind of pissed.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
So, but again,
there's this touch of sadness,
You find out that it's his wife's birthday also. So the mom and the daughter have the same birthday. The mom's dead. So I can see why he's a little more annoyed that like Tree's ignoring him on this day.
Yeah.
But anyway, his daughter and his wife, both same birthday, and this is playing out, I'd be a little pissed too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's back in the dorm, and then Stephanie walks in and was like, don't I look good in your shirt? She's like, when are you going to the party? If you show up late, all the cute
single boys are going to be taken.
Single boys.
I thought she said Sigma, and I was like,
Sigma, yeah.
Maybe it probably was single.
It was,
makes more sense.
No, it's Sigma, because I had the subtitles on. I just couldn't remember the Greek letter. But yeah, she said all the Sigma boys are going to be gone.
I heard single boys, and I'm like, she doesn't strike me as the type of person who would really care about their relationship status.
My hunky boys!
Yeah, like every loop through, I heard a different word there, so it wasn't enunciated well.
I did not have subtitles on because they probably would have been very tiny on my phone screen.
Yes, you watch this on your phone, nice.
I mean, that is the way films are meant to be watched. I think Christopher Nolan would back me up here.
In a small hand-sized screen, yes.
Yeah, and he'd also say, you don't need to hear dialogue. That's my number one thing. When I make a movie, I make sure all the dialogue is muddy and low.
Look, shut your mouth. Bane was fine before the fucking ramp-up audio bullshit that they did, all right? I'd have no problem in the IMAX hearing
What
him
about
talk.
Tenet, which apparently has a script? Words are supposedly said.
Oh, and Tenet, haven't watched it yet. Need to do that at some point. But yes, I hear that one's actually really hard to hear.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless.
This movie, not that bad. Dialogue, good volume on the dialogue.
You know
Quality
what?
audio levels.
This movie was mixed really well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well. The Foley artist really didn't overpower with the sounds, especially when that music box is playing and the scene we're going to get to in a second. That played out really well. It had a really nice echo reverb without being fake sounding.
The only piece of dialogue I had to go back to and listen to a couple of times was "fine vagina," because I'm like, did he just fucking say "fine vagina"? So
if you turn on subtitles, you would have known.
Yeah.
But
I also agree. I didn't really fully hear him, but Tree says it back to him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, fine vagina out." I was like, "All right,
so she's
own it."
So she's in the room. She's like, Stephanie's like, "You better hurry up, or all the Sigma boys are gonna be taking, And then this is when we get I don't remember if it's a flashback or what, but we find out that her mom died. Her mom is dead, and her mom
she's watching a video on her phone.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I knew there was something. Now at this point,
we don't know that she's dead. We just see a video of her younger.
Well,
with
it
her
becomes
mom.
kind of obvious because the way she's looking at it and the pictures and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, her mom's gone, and we've had no mention of her mom and just the dad and stuff.
it has the visual language of grief.
Yes.
There you go. Actually, that's well said.
Yeah. Thanks for really making it feel like this podcast has it together.
Thanks for classing up this podcast.
Yeah, there we go.
So at this point, she's getting ready for the party. Is there a party every night in college?
I would say at a sorority fraternity situation, most nights, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you probably don't have to go to all of them.
I'd be so damn tired.
Yeah. Well, you're also, not 21 or 22 when you're prime partying age.
Look, even then.
Or 18, 19, however old Tree's supposed to be.
Yeah, and okay, I do have to say she, went to a party the night before this movie takes place, which we find out was a Sunday, and now she's going to another party on a Monday? Come on, you guys.
Oh yeah, that was a Sunday party.
Sunday night drinking.
She got fucking hammered on Sunday night.
No hangover though.
No, she asked for those Advils. Remember, she was bitching about those. She's like, I need Tylenol now.
That's that young person rebound, though.
Exactly. I don't have that anymore.
Look, Tree is 37 or 40 years old. We don't know yet. Okay.
No, I looked it up. She's 35 now, so she would have been literally 30 when she filmed this
I thought you
movie.
meant the character. I was like,
oh no, the actress Jessica Roth.
Yeah, I don't care about actual age because they always do that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, how many 40-year-old teenagers did we have in the 80s for our horror movies?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean,
that's one thing I'm willing to let go right out the gate.
How much would I have given to when she wakes up in the dorm just to say, I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not need this?
that would have been awesome.
That would have been fantastic. So she's dressed for the party. I keep wanting to say dance.
Yeah.
I'm going to the dance, Mom. And
the sock hop.
so she walks past some frat dudes in their their team gear, like the A on the red shirt, Scarlet Letter type shit. Their mascot is what? A baby?
They're the Bayfield babies.
Yeah.
No, is that really what? It's the Mayfield.
No, it's Bayfield.
Bayfield.
Is it Bayfield?
For the alliteration. Or I can't think it's
Bayfield
assonance, but
Bayfield babies.
yeah.
Is that really? Because
Yeah, that's why everyone has the baby mask and some guy's selling it.
I finished this movie and then I fast forwarded this movie at like double speed to watch any scene where there was a baby mask to see if anyone said or showed the words babies.
I saw in the background of a shot, it was like a poster or, like a pennant or something that said Bayfield babies.
And then there's some weird, strange guy hawking the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he never says babies.
Hawking his cheesy
I checked that scene a couple times because I was just like, there's no college that's like, we're the babies.
Well, they're at Bayfield.
Oh man, they should have gotten the baby.
Now, yeah, it would have been cool, but also
or bad baby.
Oh yeah, so many options with babies. But imagine you win, like at a sporting event, you just got beat by a baby. Yeah, I like it. I dig it. That's fact. You know what? We're the GraveTalk babies from now on.
No, we're not. No, absolutely not. Oh my god, I'm just trying to imagine a
Grave babies for life.
A dude in a diaper with a rattle running onto the field, being like, "Let's do it."
That's
just like
the mascot.
Shit, like what the fuck?
Then he shits himself like a real baby.
Who thought babies? Okay, so I know that they had the stupid baby mask.
Maybe they're implying it's an adult baby, and that is a scary mascot.
Yeah. They workshopped it. They started with the Bayfield infants. They're like too small. Bayfield toddlers, too big. They landed on Bayfield babies.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, so it is the babies because I was like, I knew the baby was somehow related because I saw the little stupid image.
Yeah.
But I was like, no college is ever calling themselves the babies.
Yeah, Bayfield didn't get the memo.
Anyway, I know someone had a stupid baby mask. Like, this would be creepy if someone's trying to kill you in this. Ha ha ha. Bloomfield. So, or Bloomhouse, not Bloomfield. Bloomhouse.
Yeah, well, they're like, the Bloomhouse babies. We're in.
I'm just, this was the golden age of shitty masks, too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The baby mask was not scary at all.
I kind of like the baby mask.
Imagine getting stabbed by a fucking guy in a baby mask.
Couldn't
That's
take
scary.
it seriously.
Yeah, you would when you're getting stabbed.
I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be like, really? A fucking baby?
That's the approach. I think that's what he wants. Or they.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so she's walking through the most well-lit, heavily ordnanced construction
like the quad,
site.
Yeah.
Like there's like
heavily ordnance
landmines, artillery.
I don't know what the word is when you like put a bunch of like construction bullshit everywhere. But anyway,
under construction.
Yeah, I'd say fenced maybe or worn.
There is like a million flashing orange lights and like 17 barriers and tape, and I was like.
Yeah.
No construction site has ever had this much warning material around it. But anyway, she walks through that nonsense. I thought that was going to all come back and be useful because they kept showing it in the shots.
I thought it was like going to be like a Looney Tunes situation where she like fell into a big hole. Like she holds up a sign like "Welp."
She goes to a tunnel, and as she's about to walk through it, she hears "Happy Birthday" coming from a little music box in the tunnel, and she's like, "All right, really funny, you guys. I guess you know it's my birthday." Bam! Out of nowhere, baby mask dude in a hoodie.
Yeah. And then she starts talking shit right away. She's like, not scared. This is a trash murderer's outfit. Do better. I'm out of here.
And then, you know what? She gets killed.
She does.
Yeah.
She gets stabbed pretty solidly, like right through the throat.
Hella murdered.
Yeah. Now, this movie does have actually some really gory kills, which I appreciated.
It has very implied gory kills, but there's no actual blood in this whole movie. Like, there's barely like 3 drops
That's a
of
good
blood.
point. I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
it's PG-13. They keep it really tame.
I guess it is implied. Wow, I did a good job of like implying it, so my brain was all like fill in the blanks.
So pretty good there, but overall, very minimal actual gore.
Well,
Yeah, just some like blood stains.
Yeah.
Mostly. You see a knife handle sticking out of a person here and there.
the important thing to take away from this is Tree got killed.
She definitely murdered, dead.
And then bam, smash cut.
It's your birthday.
Now you gotta answer the phone. So I swear to God, I thought that's what it was. I was like, this makes no sense. But anyway,
and now we're in loop 2.
Yeah, okay. This is where it all starts. Like, this is where we get into the loops, and we're gonna burn through some of these days a little bit faster now that we don't have to go through all of this.
Yeah,
but
well, don't worry, there's a montage. So
there is a montage.
Yeah.
We play out the opening scene again where she like wakes up and, you know, he's all like, hey, my name's Carter. I don't know if you remember me. You were wasted last night. This right here is where I realized I hate movies that make me listen to the same dialogue over and over and over again.
I do too, and I was really worried that this was going to be super obnoxious, but I think that they found a good balance of keeping enough of the same cues so we know it's a repeat very quickly, but there's enough subtle changes almost immediately to make it not super tedious.
Back to the word implied.
Yeah.
Because eventually they quickly drop, because I mean, the second loop is a lot of repeat, and I was like, I am going going to be in hell
This is the most copy and paste because then she starts reacting differently.
Yeah.
each time after this.
Yeah, and I mean, with the second one, you kind of need that because she doesn't know she's in a loop yet.
Of course.
But there were still a lot of subtle changes. Like, okay, she reacts a little bit differently when, like, Becky gets up from the table at lunch, so she doesn't get nearly as much chocolate milk spilled on her and things like that. So it's you're already starting to see some differences.
And she's less mean and more confused this time through.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was really worried that was going to get super tedious, but I think they found a good balance of doing enough the required amount of repetition without going overboard with it.
You know who does it well? Clue, the movie Clue. Now there's a movie that knows how to repeat a scene.
Yeah, and Pulp Fiction does a good job of it too. They give you just enough to start the scene and they switch it up, which is what this movie did.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie's definitely in the Pulp Fiction aspect of you get enough to kind of be like, hey, this is similar. Remember this?
Yeah.
And here's a different view perspective on it.
So,
and I'm glad they did that because again, I was about to be pissed. But they just switch it up. This time she's going to go the same day repeat. She's kind of like, wait a minute, this is all deja vu. What the hell?
Yeah, and someone says deja vu. I think it's
Stephanie.
Stephanie says deja vu is when someone's thinking about you while they're masturbating.
She's like, that's why I have it 5 times a day.
Day 2 repeats, and now she's going to go to the party again. She goes and sees the music box in the tunnel, and instead of being like, well, let me repeat it, she's like, oh, fuck this noise, and heads back to the house. And as she heads back to the sorority house, she opens the door, but all the lights are out. And she's like, what the hell? The door's locked. And she's like, what? She finally gets the door open, and the lights flip
I
on.
thought she went to a frat house, not the sorority house.
She just took a different path to the party.
Oh, was it a frat? Oh.
Yeah, because when she goes upstairs, it's very clearly like that dude's
Oh, the
room.
Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, it leads to one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yes. Well, we did talk about the Pleasure Dome in a minute, but yes.
We're going to get to the Pleasure Dome.
Yeah.
So,
Trust me.
Strap in.
To the Pleasure Dome.
So the frat house. Okay, that makes more sense then because I was like, why would everything be locked? No one's there. But anyway,
Imagine how pissed you'd be if it was your birthday. You walk to somebody else's house for a party. There's a sign that says, go back to your original house. You go back and then there's your surprise
I thought
party.
she was calling it quits. Like, oh no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go back home. But I
If
guess
that
she
happened to
was.
me, I'd be like, fuck this, I'm going to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. And
Probably
so
what Tree does too, actually, knowing her.
she opens the door.
She does.
The lights go on. And there's a dude in a baby mask, and she decks that dude in a baby mask, and everyone goes, surprise! And like, oh my God, you punched this dude in the face.
Knocks him right on his ass. She gets a good hit in.
She punches a baby.
Yeah.
And okay, I did kind of love everyone's like, Stephanie grabs her like, don't fuck with the camera.
Yeah.
And
She's playing damage control real quick.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
I did like that as well. So they've also been implying that Tree has had a thing with some guy that her roommate Lori is into, but they're trying to keep it on the DL. I don't know if Lori's dating him though, or just interested.
Well, they reference that they maybe have been doing some stuff before, and the night before on the Sunday
Made
blackout
out.
party, she stuck her tongue down his throat.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you think Stephanie's mad about that?
Right, but she was wasted too.
Yeah, she was wasted too. She probably doesn't remember. Like, oh, collective amnesia saves us again type thing is what
Yes.
they say.
And this is kind of important because he's like, okay, here are your potential suspects, right? Everybody has a reason to want to kill.
This is our Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
like setup. So at this point, that
This
dude.
is a grim Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
A lot more murder than you usually see. in
Oh my
one of
God,
those.
I would give every dollar in my bank account to see half these girls in fucking Velma outfits. Anyway, leave that in the podcast.
Or-
Ladies, if you're out there, send me your Velma cosplay.
They take off the baby mask and it's just like Tree from the future. It's like, I would have got away.
no,
I
no.
honestly thought it was going to be.
I thought it was Carter. I thought the killer was. I thought Toombs at the end. Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
Toombs. I thought Toombs was Carter from the future trying to kill Tree because of something she did.
Yeah, I dated you and now look, I'm a serial killer. This is
And
what
then I
you
also
did.
thought it was her mom's ghost that was basically killing her at one point. Dude, I had a journey with who I thought the killers were in this movie.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I have
Murder.
a list of names in the order I thought they were going to get, like, who were the killers, and then like every next one was like, nope. Like it's just me like slowly checking them off as
So
I
you
went
had
through.
your own suspect list.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, and
Did you
I
have
was
to throw
bad at it.
all your belongings out of your window though to make it?
No,
Okay.
I did not. So
Did you think about it?
I did think about it. So anyway,
So she meets the guy and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come upstairs?"
well, her and Stephanie, Tree and Stephanie are there, and he goes like, "Hey, it's okay, you punched me. Don't worry
Ladies.
about it." And Stephanie's like, "You're so hilarious," and he doesn't give two shits about Stephanie.
He's like, "Sup, Tree? You want to see the Pleasure Dome?"
Yeah, he doesn't call it the Pleasure Dome yet, but yeah, he's like, we should go someplace out of the way. And then Stephanie's pissed. She's like, motherfucker. So
like,
now you think Stephanie could be a suspect too.
He's like, I got an Xbox 360. You want to go see it?
Is that what
Play
he said?
GTA 5? No, he does
Oh
not say
God,
that.
I was like, if he fucking led with, you want to see my 360? I was like, dude, you're gonna be a virgin forever.
Yeah, was that even the Xbox in 2017? No, I think the Xbox One was already out.
Don't know. Mark would know.
Yeah.
This is why we need Mark here.
I know, Mark. I'm trying to fill into your video game knowledge, but obviously I'm doing a bad job.
Falling down on my mark.
Come back,
substitution
Shane.
here.
Though it'd be funnier if Xbox 360 was vintage by then. So then he'd be like, "Do you want to see my old ass Xbox?"
That's what I
That
said.
it sounds like you said ass sex box.
Well, it
Whoa.
would fit in with the Pleasure Dome. So
So he takes her upstairs to a frat room, which
That bike
he
from
then
Thank You for
calls
Reading.
the Pleasure Dome, which my note in giant all caps is, damn it, I want a large lava lamp.
yeah,
Because there's a giant lava lamp in this room.
And he has all sorts of like cool lights and like
A disco
super
ball.
loud music, and he starts.
They could throw a small rave in this room.
yeah. The thing about that music though is it sounds like the kind of music that like Sims would dance to.
He also dances like a sim.
Yeah,
His dancing was horrible. I was like, bro, if you ever had a chance of getting laid, you just lost it right there with that dance.
And as someone who at Frightmare won a dance battle with an evil clown, I have room to judge his dancing. It was very bad.
it's true. You beat the hell out of that evil clown via dancing.
dope. Yeah, as someone who can't dance worth shit but can identify bad dancing, that was it. I was like, oh, that's how I would dance poorly.
So anyway, he's like, welcome to the Pleasure Dome. And so she's like, I'm over this. And then what, did she get a call? No,
Well, she gets a text from
Stephanie's
Stephanie.
like, are you upstairs with him?
I'd be pissed that that room was clearly a cube and not a dome.
Yeah, that's true. First she's going to Subway. Now she's sleeping with people who don't know shapes. And yet she thinks Carter's embarrassing.
This is what happens when you're a 50-year-old sorority girl.
Yeah, I bet he could tell a cube from a dome.
I bet he could calculate the volume of a dome too.
Oh, definitely.
Carter's the perfect man. Can we
Yeah.
all agree on this?
Agreed.
Okay. So anyway,
But Tree's like, what? No, I would never do that. I'm totally not going to bang your boyfriend crush, whatever the hell it is.
crush.
And she's like, and while she's texting him, and he puts on the baby mask again. And she's like, ha ha, that's very funny.
Yeah, because everyone loves dressing up in a fucking baby mask. You know, there's one thing I want to do when I'm trying to like woo a girl into having sex with me is put on a fucking baby mask. No.
Yeah, so she makes him take it off. She gets a text. She turns around while he's dancing in the background. And then
He's having more fun by himself in the Pleasure Dome than he could have with her in the Pleasure Dome.
I have a feeling that's pretty normal. He has a lot of fun by himself in the Pleasure Dome. And then while she's doing all this text, we see another person in a baby mask come in and just murder the fuck out of him back there.
Yeah, and the music's so loud she can't hear
Yeah.
any of this nonsense going on. So yeah,
And it's framed so great because it's like over her shoulder where you just see him dancing around and then he's just getting stabbed in the stomach silently. It is a very well done scene.
and then she turns around and she's like, all right, take the mask off. I'm over this. And then bam, she finds out that dude's got a knife. She realizes it's not whatever that disposable frat boy's name is.
Adam, Arthur, something with an A,
Okay.
Biff.
That's
It's
okay.
a B,
You know
but
what?
you know what? You're in the right part of the alphabet, so we're going to give it
Yeah,
to you.
I migrated past A. We're
Okay,
past that.
okay.
A's some
she
short.
realizes
one
she
syllable.
gets killed in the Pleasure Dome.
Well, yeah, so she's like fighting with she does put up a hell of a fight.
oh, we're going to talk about the bullshit.
And
that
then
happened.
another
Yeah.
guy comes in. She's like, help me, help me, help me. He's like, all right, man. And she
Yeah, dude just straight up was like, rape. Okay, later. And I was like,
This
yo.
is to give us a good and heavy-handed juxtaposition for what a nice guy Carter is.
Yeah.
When we found out that they never had sex.
Do you think that's what that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
It also shows
It had that effect.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't seem like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, that makes a lot of sense. I just didn't think of it that way. I was just like, oh, wow, these guys are fucking despicable.
right, which made Carter look less despicable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Bang on.
Yeah. While getting murdered, she has time to go, you fucking asshole.
I love how she just reverts to like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, I'm fucking talking mad shit.
Go out swinging.
Tried to think of like what some like really like vicious last words would be. Honestly, if I ever find myself in that position, I'm probably just gonna go a classic, I'll see you in hell. But you know.
I like it. That classic
Yeah.
just never gets old.
I'd be like, this sucks.
Anyway, so she gets killed. Bam, we repeat. now we're on day 3.
Yeah.
And this is where we start. She's like kind of accepted, like, okay, I'm in a repeat. What the fuck? This is more of a panic repeat day.
Yeah.
Now she's kind of like, I got to avoid this. What the hell's going on? Oh my God, this stuff definitely is duplicated. This is not right.
There is one thing that we did forget to mention that has occurred in every repeat, and that is when she's having a conversation with Stephanie and the lights flicker out for a few seconds, and this happens in every single repeat.
Right, at 9:23 p.m.
Yes. And it's I'm glad they did that, and that they did that specifically to kind of like basically say, like, this is where you are in the day.
Yeah.
Like, so you can recalibrate, because as of this point in the movie, the events of the day start becoming very different than the way they were before.
Yes.
So you don't know what time it is, where you're supposed to be, all this stuff like that.
Yes, we have a couple of landmarks.
Yes, when the lights flicker, you know, like, okay, it's nighttime. The kill's about to happen soon.
Now she starts telling Carter where his Advil is, or his Tylenol is too. It's like, it's over there, it's under. He's like, it's like you've been here before.
Yeah, the third one is where she decides she's going to stay home from the party,
Right.
and she gets killed in the sorority house. Now, this also does one of the biggest horror sins that I still wish movies would stop doing altogether. When you're creeping into a bathroom to look behind a shower curtain because the killer may be behind the shower curtain, if you hear a light flick on or a TV turn on behind you, take a quick look, make sure no one's behind you, but finish checking that goddamn shower. Like, everyone just gives up on the thing they were trying to check, where the killer obviously is, because they hear a noise somewhere else. Sure, that's number 2 to investigate after you check this thing out you're looking at. But
Fair.
Everyone does that crap where they just turn around like, well, I guess I'm not going to worry about the shower because I heard a noise behind me. And I'm like, damn it.
She also does somewhere get a bunch of lumber to put over the window. I did like that.
She blocks her door with her dresser. She puts some boards hammered up over the windows.
So she like went to Home Depot or something. And
no, they got extra wood. It's a sorority house, dude.
I don't think.
I bet they have all sorts of crap in the basement.
Yeah, crafts activity. Okay, fair enough.
This stuff was back from when that house was a plantation. They've got all sorts of stuff. I'm assuming all sorority houses and stuff are plantations, and they're all these like massive like houses and stuff like that.
I mean, I went to school in Reno, Nevada, where there were never plantations.
That you know of. Secret
guess
plantation.
But they're just
Kenny
big-ass
Loggins song.
houses. A lot of them are just like X-mansions.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's so much better. I like them as X mansions. That makes me feel way
not like
less
the
worse.
mutant-
I mean, they're
kind,
all
but-
full of my exes. So
Oh, boy.
They're mostly.
I guess I know why you're at the hospital today, huh? STD joke. Get it? Get it? That's a callback. That's what we call a callback in the business.
They're mostly just really poorly constructed homes that someone
McMansions?
Yeah, pretty
definitely
much.
poorly maintained.
Yeah, they might have been built fine. In fact, they had to be, considering how poorly maintained they are. They're still standing.
These idiots can't use their phones half the time properly. I doubt they know how to redo the trim on a window.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have your like den mother or whatever.
We should start a
where is the
DIY
den mother?
like I think that's Stephanie.
No,
No, it's
she's
like
a
an
student.
adult
Yeah,
human usually.
That's true. She's 52 years old.
she is the den mother.
Best den mother ever.
Yeah. You saw Black Christmas. We did it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That
about
adult
that old lady.
Yeah. So
Okay.
She should have
All right.
been
Okay. Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
Look, I'm learning so much about sororities right now.
Yeah.
All right.
from experts. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume all sororities and frat houses are just basically knockoffs Xavier School for the Gifted Youngsters at this point.
Yeah, here is my sorority cred. I had a friend in college who shared an alley with a sorority. Her apartment backed up to the alley that they also used, and they always had to fight for parking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the fire stations that my dad worked at was across from Sigma Nu.
And if you don't get to parties early, all the Sigma guys
All
take
of
it.
them.
Yeah.
And
They
that,
can't find parking.
that frat got busted for making fake IDs.
Ooh.
All right, my frat / sorority cred. I've known individuals who have been in them. Never talked to them about it, but I assume I picked something up through osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some Greek letters.
Yeah, I've seen the outside, and in fact, the inside of some of these houses. So
My frat cred,
Yeah.
I can basically tell you what happens in all 4 of the Revenge of the Nerds movies from start to finish.
Yeah.
I can almost quote the first one in entirety. And on top of that, one time when I was walking near campus in Austin, there was a frat party going on, and I walked into a yard, grabbed the beer, and walked out.
I'm surprised they even let you in without a girl. A lot of times in the dick ones, they make you bring more girls than guys.
It's called a fraternity, not a dick one.
I feel like they took one look at me and were like, no, just let this one go. There's no way he's bringing anything with him. Anyway, point being, we all have very little
Dick
experience with
sorority,
frats.
right? Is that what they're called?
So
Yeah, the male equivalent's just a dick sorority.
anyway, back to Happy Death Day.
So now in loop 4, she's like, all right, Carter, I'm going to tell you some crazy shit. and I hope you believe me.
I love that Carter is so incredulous and he's just like, all right, this sounds great.
I hated
credulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is very credulous.
I hated that because it was just like, he was like, well, it could be this. And I was like, no, a woman wakes up screaming in your bed and then drops this shit on you. You'd be like, tell you what, I'm going to get you an Uber. I'll wish you the best.
I'm going to have to go all the way back to Carter is thinking, not with his big brain, bro. He's thinking with his little brain.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
You think he's long game in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tree's fine. And he, by this movie's laws, is not pulling anything like Tree.
Or maybe he has, a family member who has a memory related disease like an Alzheimer's maybe, because a lot of times one of the strategies they'll give for those is when they start, going on kind of a strange narrative is to just play along with them. And that's like just, one of the best ways to interact with people who have memory issues.
All right, I've heard the arguments and John is correct.
Yeah.
He wants to get it inside Tree. I'm sorry. That may be your answer may be factually accurate, but in the context of this movie, you're wrong.
Or I'm going to float a third option, very similar. He really, really likes 50 First Dates. And he's like, now is my chance.
He's trying to live it out.
Oh, no. Alternative. Clearly at the end, he is a big Groundhogs Day fan. And he's like, finally, my chance.
Yeah.
Oh, he does reference it.
He does. And
He's the
somehow
one that's
Tree
like, you
doesn't.
haven't seen this movie?
Yeah. Well, more concerning, fine. You've never seen Groundhog's Day. Tree says she doesn't know who Bill Murray is. She's like,
Wait, I thought she said she didn't know the movie was.
Yeah, and he's like, with Bill Murray? And she's like, who's Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit then. That's like being like, I don't watch Star Wars. I don't know what a Darth Vader is. Like, bullshit. You exist in the world. You know what a Star Wars is.
You could tell because you call it a Star Wars. But anyway, he's like,
go see a Star Wars.
Anyway.
he's like, okay, who would want to kill you? And then we find out Tree is terrible.
Now, I do appreciate, as someone who does this myself, I do appreciate Carter's immediate, like, let's go into problem-solving mode.
Yeah.
Who wants to kill you? Let's break it down. Let's make a list. I'm just like, here we go. But he makes that list on a fucking napkin. Like, bro.
Well, then he stops because her list is like, she's like, it could be everybody.
Oh, yeah, because she's thinking, like, a ton of people.
Well, she's like, could be my roommate, could be my sorority sister, could be the girl.
Uber driver I spit on.
Yeah, and he's like,
the
what?
TJ Maxx
The girl I
employee.
got fired from TJ Maxx.
The short girl I got fired from
And
TJ
he's
Maxx.
like, and she goes, what, like you've never spit on anybody? Like, no, I have not. That's a
And
weird.
she's like, nobody's perfect.
yeah.
At this point in the movie, I was still like, I don't care that she's getting killed. Like, I just didn't give a shit.
But this is the start of her turn.
Yes, that's
'Cause
true.
Finally, he's like, look, from what you say is true, just you have infinite opportunity to figure this out, right? And she's like, oh, so you think I should just get murdered until I figure out who it is? And it's like, yeah, Tree.
I think this is the day also where Carter confesses, like, I didn't actually fuck you. You fell asleep on the thing. And that's why she kind of trusts him to tell him what's going on.
Yeah, because she when he like judges her, she goes, oh, like Miss, I took advantage.
Mr. Date Rape, I'm going to take a
Yeah.
super drunk girl home. And he's like, I didn't even fuck you. And she's just like, what?
And this is where it's like, man, Tree, your bar for men is so low. Because she's like, I think this is where she falls in love with him. She's like, what? You didn't take advantage of me? All right.
Well, I didn't get raped. He's the one.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn, girl.
Well, I guess this is one of two actions. This is the action where she's like, you know what? I've never met a man like you before.
I do love the way this character plays off, like how she like so immediately becomes like enamored with Carter. Like, I love the way she plays that out. It's so charming.
Yeah.
Because when she finds like, I don't know who he is, but I love him and I'm going to marry him. And I was just like, well, clearly she's being hyperbolic
Well, she
here.
jumps
but, like,
to, I'm going to have his babies.
yeah. Oh, yo, she is down.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, lose the condom, son. Let's go.
Though weirdly, if you think about it from her perspective, she's like had like 16, I think they say, first dates or, time to get to know Carter. And so she is way more enamored with Carter than Carter is with her, who's known her for maybe 5 hours.
I don't think so. When his friend comes in and said, fine vagina, he's like, you know what? He's right. That is fine vagina. I better lock that down. So that's what I do.
They're
all right?
at different stages in their relationship.
Look, when you're batting out of your league, you take your time taking those 3 swings so you don't strike out. You know what I'm saying? You milk that for all it's worth. You try to get walked.
There you go.
Okay.
This
is a crazy mixed metaphor.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. I know shit about baseball.
This is Garrett Date Tips. Stay tuned later for some more.
That's gonna be a GraveTalk quickie. Look, whatever you do, just don't talk to them. Okay? They're not gonna want to talk back to you.
Yeah, as soon as you open your mouth, it's over.
Don't even yell iceberg. You're already sinking, sir. Anyway,
You're right. Don't yell iceberg at somebody.
Yes.
Hey,
More
you, iceberg. Want to go on a date?
more date tips. So this is basically where we entered the montage. She goes back to her sorority house. She throws all of her stuff off of her desk out the window.
Out the window.
Yeah, weird. I don't know why she wouldn't just sort of push it, if anywhere on the floor, but no.
Stack it neatly on the edge.
Yeah, a lot of options.
A huge desk.
Listen, there's no time for stacking. She has to find her murderer.
Yeah, she clears out her whole desk so she could put one notebook on there and write suspect list.
It's a spiral notebook.
Yeah.
And also, she uses like 7 lines per name. I was like, all right, calm down.
I don't think she's ever written before because she uses like a Sharpie and it's huge. I mean, it's all block leathery. It's like how you.
She's writing it like a caveman chiseling it into a wall. It's like, ma'am, just.
It looks like Uma Thurman's kill list from Kill Bill.
That's actually a really good reference on that. Yes.
Yeah. So she then starts the montage, which every go through she tries to identify. So she starts like with
Ted, Tom, Dan,
Yeah, the guy who like
Tandy
is confused that she hasn't answered his text, and she spies on him, and he is watching gay porn.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then she gets stabbed dead. So we know
well, she mouths and big over the top, like acting like, oh, he's gay outside the window. So you can see that we now understand he's gay.
But well done. It's a very
This
cute
montage
scene.
As
scene-
a straight man has never watched gay porn before.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
he was really settling in.
We
so.
go down to Steven Crowder to verify this. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. No, this montage was great, except the song they used was so distracting.
About
it was
confidence
so,
or whatever?
It was
Yeah.
so like,
I have no recollection of a song. I know there had to have been one,
Yeah.
right? There's no such thing as a silent montage, although.
Oh, that'd be something.
it's the name of my new movie, Silent Montage.
Yeah, at one point she just comes out naked. I think that was just to fuck with us. I don't know why she did
No,
that.
because there's no consequences. She's going to repeat everything.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm just going to walk naked through the quad, and she does. She walks confidently through the quad because what does it matter? No one's going to remember this tomorrow. And to be fair, I get that. If I had every day to repeat, straight up,
Taking some days off from figuring out your murder.
my God, I
To
would
take your wiener out in public.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, there's so many weird things I do that I just be like, you know what? You ain't gonna do shit to me, you know? Now, I have a question. So in the montage, she also tracks Stephanie down, who she thinks might be the killer.
Yeah.
And they both get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Now, this is where my first question comes in. If someone else dies, they get to come back once she dies.
Yeah, because Carter dies later, too.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why she has to get herself killed again.
But
That's
she
why she
kills
hangs
herself,
herself so Carter can come back to life.
But what I
Okay.
don't understand is how that makes it not Stephanie. Because then after they both die, she crosses Stephanie out, but you got hit by a bus tree.
Yeah, I know. It did. I had some problems with this montage because I was like, we're not really ruling things out. We're just kind of going through some motions. But anyway, it's a really great, fun montage.
Yeah, so he rules out the doctor's wife, or like the professor's wife, rather. And then by this point,
Which was a good guess
yes.
because she was on my list too of potential killers.
She gets drowned. It actually goes back to your point. She gets drowned, wakes up, vomits out the water. So anything she's eating the day before must.
Well, that's another thing too. Is like if she kills herself, I was like, does she die? Like if she like killed herself by
No.
like drinking arsenic
We learned
because
in
of the damn.
Groundhog's Day that does not get you out of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I'm just saying though, but like she's getting the scar tissue. She's puking up the water. Like if she drank arsenic the day before, would her intestines still be like eaten away the next day?
Yeah, but she's inexplicably alive.
okay.
Yeah. Good news about
So this is
Because
like an
the doctor
X-Men
tells
story.
her she should be dead.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was like, you're going to die if you keep this up type
Good
thing.
news of this plot point is it really plays no role past this next scene. 'Cause she's like, oh, I'm getting weaker, but then she doesn't. So
So after this montage,
she wakes up, passes out. Carter takes her to the hospital,
Yes.
and then the professor comes in and then shows her some x-rays. And he's like, we're having a hell of a time getting your vitals because if you look here, you have no organs. You should be dead. No, he's like, you're all scarred. Your lungs
Yeah.
are scarred. Like, what is happening? And she's like, I need to get out of this hospital. Someone's going to come and kill me here.
well, the lights flicker on and off.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh shit, here we go again.
And so she sneaks out of the hospital.
And I'm done with long sneaking scenes through hospitals. We get it. We don't need to belabor these as long as we do in movies anymore. Just sneak out and get to where you're going.
Also, hospitals are way busier than this.
Yeah.
She's being chased by the killer at this point, right?
Right. And one thing we forgot to mention, at the same hospital, we've alluded to it, there is a serial killer being chained up that got captured who has been killing women.
John Toombs.
Yeah. So Tree sees the cop there, and then her mind starts going like, oh, okay, he escapes and murders me. So she's like, I got it.
Yeah, she sees a news report also in another scene that we either before or after this where like it's like Toombs killed 6 sorority girls involved, and she's like, oh my god, that guy from the hospital, blah blah blah. But before we know that it's actually like that, like he ends up chasing her through the hospital, right? Is it Toombs or
Babyface does.
Babyface ends up chasing her to the hospital. She ends up in the parking garage,
and he kills the professor, so she can cross the professor off the list.
Yeah, and she runs up to his office,
with.
steals his car keys.
Yes.
And then she's like, yes, I'm free. I made it. This is amazing.
Yeah, because she knocks Babyface over with the car and then drives out the parking garage.
And then she gets pulled over.
Yeah, she's hauling ass. She's like celebrating. She's like, woohoo, I did it. Fuck you. Can't stop me. You know, like whatever.
And then she
Can't stop me, whatever.
Yeah, it's a line straight from the script.
You know, you're just a real fucking self-esteem killer. You know that?
But you know what? Can't stop me, whatever.
Anyway, she gets pulled over by a cop.
And the cop's like, license and registration. And she's like, look, someone's trying to kill me. I don't have it. And he's like,
she's in a stolen car too.
Yeah. And he's like, have you been drinking? She goes, if I were, you'd arrest me, right? He goes, that's usually how it goes. She goes, I am drunk. I'm on drugs, pills, weed, whatever.
You name it, I'm on it.
Yeah. She is like, and he's like, step out of the car, and he's handcuffing her, and she's all like excited, like kind of giggling, and he's like, he gives her this look, and she's like, this is my first time being arrested.
Yeah.
I mean, this scene was a delight. Like, they did such a good job of really kind of like adding this levity to the moment of like, this is still very serious, but like what are you going to do? She's just accepted this like crazy turn of events, which is kind of, she's enjoying it now.
So he puts her in the back of the squad car, and before he can get in the car himself, he is mowed down where he stands.
By Babyface in another car.
Yeah.
And man, that hit comes out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah. And his, like, you see his mangled body a few moments later, and it's like, it's a really quick, it's not super graphic, but it's like, whew, still a little rough.
Yeah, that dude gets creamed. And Babyface gets out of the car, and she's in the back of the cop car locked up, and Babyface walks up, and, well, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, she clipped the cop car, so now the gas is leaking, and Babyface, not wanting to miss the irony.
The killer clips the cop car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now gas is leaking.
You said she.
Oh, so the killer walks away?
Well, because she thinks the killer's going to kill her, like straight up knife style, but then the killer like walks away.
Straight up knife style.
God damn it. I can't say nothing here. Anyway.
I can't say nothing here.
This is the most quotable episode ever. Anyway, go ahead and tell your story, John.
So the killer lights a candle, throws it in the gas
Was it
line.
a candle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a birthday candle.
Oh.
Yeah. Which then lights the gas on fire, leads to the car.
That would have given it away for me. I would have figured it out at that point.
Oh.
If I had known it was a candle, I would have been able to piece that
Well, then
together.
they really zoomed in on it being a candle, slow
I thought
motion.
it was a match.
Fell.
You know the difference between a candle and a match, correct?
Well, anyway, falls in the gas lights, car, tree goes, this sucks. And then the car just blows up.
She should have said, happy birthday to me.
Yeah, that would have been something. So Tree wakes up really mad, flailing about, but she's like
mad determined this time. She's like,
Right.
all right, fuck this noise.
yeah, I know who it is. So this go through, she's like, I'm going to set everything straight.
And as this happens, she also puts her phone down because, hey, it's her birthday. She has to answer the phone. It's her dad. Did anyone of you guys think at this movie at any point, like if she just answered the phone, that would be the trigger to stop everything?
No, but
Or was that just me?
That'd have been a good idea, but
Because I was like, she refuses to answer her phone. I was like, maybe if she just answers her phone, like I thought it was going to be the event of like she had to talk to her dad, and that would break the cycle. I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
Look, I was really wrong. I was a bad detective in this movie. Okay, that's the sequel to Bad Lieutenant.
yeah, oh,
Bad
there you go.
detective. Port of call, Austin, Texas. I don't know.
So this time she is like, all right, I know it is Toombs. I'm going to go and put an end to this. So she goes through, she like signs the global warming petition. She puts a pillow for the pledge who falls down.
She warns the people about the sprinklers.
Yeah.
She's redeemed herself. She's doing good. She's with this knowledge. She's actually helping people and contributing positively
She
to
tells
society.
Tom to go find himself a hot piece of man ass.
Yeah.
And
She did.
Love
Just
is love.
Straight up. Just find yourself some man ass. You could also find yourself a whole man if you wanted to. But if you're just interested in ass, go for
Yeah.
the man ass.
yeah, the whole man, just the ass, whatever you want.
Yeah. Should we go back to our pancake conversation? Man ass shaped pancakes.
Oh,
yeah.
The total package.
Total package.
Now that's what I call a Dutch baby.
I just picture the stupid baby mask. And he's like all hot and oiled up with just the baby mask on. I'm like, hello.
Yeah. He does not skip leg day, all right? Just
The
squats.
Buff Babies of Bayfield. That should be the calendar they sell for the charity. The Buff Babies of Bayfield. And they can just have like ripped dudes with baby masks on.
Bam. He's just solved their entire funding problem.
That's going to be the episode image right there.
So she goes back and like she's like, Lori, I've been a shitty roommate. I want you to know everything's going to be different after today. 2 thumbs up. You rock. Love you, girl. Out. Then she goes to the meeting and she stands up for Becky.
Yes.
She comes with like just a tray full of junk food and
fries
shit.
and ding dongs and chocolate milks.
Yeah, and Stephanie is real shitty, and as usual, so Tree dumps the whole ass cup of chocolate milk right on her head. Very satisfying.
Zing! Yeah. Take that.
Got her.
Carter comes. He gets a good kiss. Bam! Right on the lips, right in front of all of her friends, and he's like, "This is weird, but okay."
And at this point, she's like, "All right, you know what? Let's just live this day up."
Yeah. Then she goes finally to see her dad, and they have a very touching scene about
because the thing is like she doesn't want to talk to her dad because every time they meet every year because of this tragic day, they pretend everything's okay, and so she's tired of doing that. And so when she actually goes to see her dad this time, she's like, "I'm tired of doing this. I want to be real about this. I miss mom. You know, like." And they kind of like had this really heartfelt, like, let's not ignore the grief. Let's actually embrace it and let's move on as, you know, a father and daughter. And that's a really good moment. And so it's almost like she's putting all her affairs in order and kind of like, you know, like, all right, it's time to move on from this, but let me do everything right before I go. Boom. Now she's in full tactical gear because evidently she got her hands on.
I mean, she has her hair in a ponytail and she's wearing like a leather jacket.
A bulletproof vest on.
What? No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, I thought she had a bulletproof vest on.
No, she just has like a knife that she fails to use and her hair's in a ponytail.
I don't know what I was seeing. Okay, anyway.
You've projected a lot of things onto this movie that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay.
Hollywood, get at the GraveTalk, okay?
When she was spying on the professor's mom, she had
like,
face paint on and she was wearing camo.
She's got fucking night vision goggles and like all this tactical shit. I'm like, yo, where did you get that?
Well, it was just regular binoculars.
The basement, the sorority basement. They got everything, as you said.
Yeah, that's true. And what's really hard to sell is, I mean, Jessica Roth does such a great job, like acting as Tree, and like all of these scenes are just so funny and like really, really well done.
From a character who I thought was going to be completely irredeemable, to the point where I thought the main character was a side character because she was so unlikable. There's no way they would kill her because we don't care. Like, I want to say halfway through this movie, she turns it around to a point where I was like, I love this character. She's a delight.
And I think they do a good job of concisely giving some background that helps not excuse her behavior, but explain her behavior. It's like, okay, she's acting out and acting like a shitty person because she has really unresolved trauma. And so I think that helps make her a little more available for redemption.
That's a good point. I definitely can see that. The juxtaposition of her being so shitty versus being like so much better. But even then, man, I was worried it was not going to be sometimes you can go too hard on something and you can't pull it back the way you think you can. Yeah. So I thought that was what was going to happen, but they didn't. So she goes to the hospital.
We skipped a loop. That was my fault. I skipped a loop. This is the second. She does all this the second time she goes to get Toombs.
Yes.
The first time she goes through this little cycle, she goes to kill Toombs, fucks it up, and Carter has to come save her.
Yes.
Carter
Okay, I thought it was the same one, but you're right. Yeah, so she goes to kill Toombs. Toombs gets free, grabs the cop's gun.
Yeah.
And is like, gotta take the safety off. And then like basically goes to shoot her, and Carter what?
He tackles him.
His neck broke.
A neck broke, right. He tackles him, but obviously physically can't overpower him. So Toombs just snaps his neck while looking right at Tree. And she's like, fuck, if I don't reset, Carter's gone forever.
Yes. So this is that I'm glad they had this scene. And this is some classic Scott Lobdell right here. I thought that was really cool to point that out so blatantly, because that also resolved the shit with Stephanie earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, she goes up into the
belfry of the hospital.
Yeah.
Are they connected or
who knows?
Okay, I don't know if she went to a different building or not, but yeah, she runs up into the chapel belfry and then jumps off with a rope around her neck.
Yeah. And then she wakes up, she cracks her neck, she jumps on Carter. She's like, you saved my life.
Now, are we to understand that in the morning when she wakes up and the bell's going ding, 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 that is because the day before she hung herself from the bell thing.
I did not notice, so I will just say...
Because she goes and she yanks and she hits the bottom and it's like bong, bong. And then we cut to the morning where it's like bong and she's waking up to that noise.
Maybe it's just echoing in her head.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because that'd be the only time a physical thing has spilled
I didn't know this is a multiverse type thing where all realities are happening simultaneously at
that would be, and like, then she wakes up and it's like raining donuts or something, from The Simpsons.
Okay. I guess, yes. I don't remember that, but okay.
From
They all have snake tongues. That's close enough.
It's one of the Treehouse of Horrors.
Oh, I don't remember that
where
one.
they go back, they get a toaster that sends it back in time.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of he steps on a bug and he goes back and they're like, what's a donut? And it's like Homer's worst nightmare. And then he runs out and it starts raining and it's donuts. Anyway, Treehouse of Horror. There's a future episode idea.
We could do a couple
favorite
of those.
Treehouse of Horror clips or no shorts. They're not episodes. The little individual
vignettes.
Vignette segment is the word I was looking for.
Go. We're just naming off words.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Happy Death Day.
So this time she wakes up, hugs Carter. Is like, you saved my life. I can't believe it. And he's obviously very confused. Does all the shit that we talked about.
This is where she runs back to the sorority house, and she's like, and Stephanie's like, "Where were you last night?" And she's like, "I had sex with a dude. I met him. His name is Carter. I'm gonna have his babies," or whatever she says.
And this is where she does the whole not montage, but the whole set everything right thing that we talked about earlier.
And she knows that they didn't have sex, right? Because she remembers what happens the day
She
before.
knows. She says, "I met a guy." She didn't say I had sex with a guy. She says, "His name's Carter, if I make it through today, I'm gonna have his babies."
Wow.
Yeah.
She goes from mistake to basically come right inside of me like that.
Yeah. Well,
all you gotta do is take a bullet.
He didn't rape her, and he died for her. So what more?
I mean,
what more?
Yeah.
She's gotten to know him over the course of we don't know how many iterations.
That's true. So this time she successfully kills Toombs. She's like, "Safety's off, thanks."
Well, yeah, she fires, it clicks, and he's like, and he starts kicking the shit out of her, and he's like, "You should have taken the safety off." And then she somehow gets the gun back, and then she blows him away. She's like, "Thanks for the tip."
Yeah. They go back to her room. Carter's there, and and he gets the cupcake that Lori made, and they blow it out, and she's like, "What do you wish for?" Or Carter goes, "What did you wish for?" And she goes, "Tomorrow."
And he goes, "That's it?" And she's like, "That's enough." And I was like, "It is enough."
She blows it out, eats the cupcake, movie fades to black, and then we hear the ringtone.
It's my birthday, and I ain't gotta pick up the phone.
She's like, WTF.
Okay. Also, real quick though, before we get to this, did y'all not think that when she kills like Toombs, like, because she holds a cop hostage, she makes the security guard like, she holds a knife to his neck, like, "You're gonna walk away. Do you understand?" He's like, "Okay," and like then she kills Toombs.
There are gonna be some consequences.
I was like, my note says this bitch going to jail forever. Like that's it. Like you can't kill a serial killer and not face cold-blooded murder.
But he attacks her first.
Does not matter. She premeditated to go kill Toombs because she threatened a cop's life and told him to get lost, and then no one was there to see that he attacked first. The only evidence that we have is that she showed up fully decked out to kill Toombs, held a cop's life at ransom, told him to get lost, and then killed Toombs. That's the only evidence anyone has here. Now, granted, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying, like, I totally thought this movie was going to cut to her in jail being happy, like, "Hey, I'm in jail, but you know what? I'm not repeating my day, so this is okay."
I think they would have a tough time proving in court and convicting her.
You think there'd be enough?
I think it'd go to trial. I think she might get acquitted.
You think this is just because he's a serial killer?
No, I'm saying because he attacked first, and there's probably a lot of physical evidence that would indicate that.
I'm going to tell you, and Happy Death Day to You, they don't even talk about it at all. So
there's a sequel?
Yeah, Happy Death Day to You. It is substantially worse.
Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second.
And they open it up for a third one, a whole universe.
I thought like she was going to jail. I was like, holy crap.
She doesn't.
They're
they're in her room.
They're having the 16 Candles moment.
Yeah.
The same exact shot from 16 Candles. Yeah.
It's called an homage.
I know what it's called. I'm just saying it's the same exact shot from 16 Candles.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. But then she dies. And she's like, "This is some bullshit." So she goes back to her room, and Lori's like, "Oh, look, here's a cupcake." And then it clicks. She's like, "I have never eaten the cupcake before. It's you."
Okay. she gives a whole whodunit monologue where she lays it all out. And it's like, all signs point to Lori. Your cupcake's poison. My note here says this monologue better be a fucking lie. I was so pissed that this is what it was.
That would be really funny if she had like put all these pieces together and was 1,000% wrong.
I was hoping that's what it was. I was like, because clearly this is so much less entertaining and like unique than anything else we've done in this movie. This better not be the actual thing that's happening. And sure enough, it was.
I have no complaints with it because it leads us to a very fun fight scene.
I agree, but like I would have loved for that to have been one of the repeat days or something like that. That fight scene being a repeat day where she thought it was.
No, that's a climax fight. That's not a throwaway montage fight.
Okay, all right. Fair. I know I'm the outlier on this, but like I was like, this better not be the actual like storyline.
Well, I mean, I think that is the weakest part of the movie. So Lori's motivation is she's mad at Tree because Tree is sleeping with the professor.
Gregory.
Yeah. Lori's like, I want to be this guy's mistress, so I'm going to kill you.
So she just wanted to be the mistress.
Yeah.
Not even the wife. Talk about some bad self-esteem.
Well, you know, she's shooting her sights where she knows she can hit. All right.
Well,
But you can't.
yeah, she can't even get there. So they have a tremendous throwdown brawl. They're fighting all over in the room.
Lori's pissed because she wasn't good enough to be the side piece.
Yes. Not even side piece worthy. And at the end of the day, Tree shoves the cupcake in her mouth, which is not poison. It must be acid.
Well, she punches her or stabs her or does something to make her go, ah, and like open her mouth in a scream. And that's when she like mashes the cupcake in her mouth.
Which then just starts to like boil her mouth away.
Oh, no. I thought it was just smeared. It was like red velvet cupcakes.
Yeah.
So it was just all smeared all over her face.
Well, that's what I was like, I don't know any poison that works that fast just from touching your lips.
And I don't think it did. I think she was just like, that was...
What if she just like got really serious, looked at her and goes, iocane powder. I'd bet my life on it.
Because I think we can agree this is probably a slow acting poison because Tree dies before she knows she was actually poisoned.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
So it's just like red velvet. So it's like red cake and cream cheese frosting smeared all over her face. So it looks gory.
But she reacts as if she's like being melted alive.
Because she
Shock.
she has a mouthful of poison.
Okay, fair point.
Spit it out.
No, I think she swallowed.
You work at a hospital. I'm sure you could be like, I can get an antidote.
Well,
But still, like you're in the middle of the fight scene and you have a mouthful of poison.
yeah. And she doesn't have time for that because
It was a quick distraction.
In the movie, it works really great, and I love the fact that the cupcake's used, but...
Because really what gets her is the fall, right? Tree pushes her out the window and she falls.
She swings on a chandelier and boots her out the window.
Yeah.
And I've watched enough Reddit fail videos to know that any woman hanging on a chandelier like that thing's coming out of the ceiling, she's smashing ass on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, she kicks her right out the window, and she lands right next to... Kelly, I think is that character's name.
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
Asian
Just some
girl.
lady, some kid just studying.
Which who got snubbed earlier by Tree also.
Yes.
She was like, hi, and then Tree just like ignores her, and she looks like just devastated.
This movie, not a happy ending for that character. She has there's going to be a lot of therapy she's going to need to work through because she's just reading, listening to music, and a body splatters right in front of her.
Yeah, it is gruesome.
Yeah. The sorority's they're on the news, right? And Stephanie's like, I knew she was a murderer because she ate carbs and Kappas don't eat carbs.
She never wore makeup.
Yeah.
You want to know what my note here says about Lori? Or after the Lori death? This bitch going to jail forever. She kicked a woman through a window and killed her.
Poison, but there is a poison cupcake.
I know. Once they
And
started
she
talking about that.
attacked first.
It's
self-defense.
It just seems excessive to like splatter people over like a fight.
Look, not only did she not go to jail, she didn't even have to. She wasn't even detained.
I know.
They just let her. Sorry, you can go. It's fine.
Wait. Is this cupcake based? Yeah, as you were on your way.
They probably found her whole plan written out in a journal or something like that.
Lori
So it's
seems like the
open
kind of
and
person
shut.
who'd write that shit out.
Very meticulous. I bet.
What a dummy.
And so, basically, the end of the movie, Carter.
Over a man. All this over a man.
Not even
Like,
a very good one. He's a dick.
a piece of shit man.
He's cheating on his wife.
Oh God, it's so just. Again, that's why I didn't want it to be the case, because I was like, this movie's so interesting and well written. Like, I don't want it to be something as stupid as just like, I'm jealous because I didn't get laid by the guy. Like, I was like, come on, it's got to be more in depth than that.
Nope.
But it wasn't. Lori.
And this Ricardo's like, oh, it's like Groundhog Day. And Tree's like, don't Bill Murray. She's like, Bill who now?
Yeah, he's like, it's a movie where Bill Murray has to repeat every single day. And she's like, who's Bill Murray?
Yeah.
I guess.
And so the camera zooms out and the end.
They reference the movie right before the movie ends.
Yeah, it's like literally the third to last line.
I did not like that. I
Why?
was like, I just don't reference the movie that you're aping on.
But if they didn't, we'd be like, is Groundhog Day not exist in their universe? Turns out it is, and people are familiar with it.
No, the credits was cool though. Like they had all these like kind of like
Birthday
card kind of cut out like credit effects.
I did
It was
really like that
enjoyable.
animation.
Yeah. No scene. I thought there'd be a scene, but there wasn't.
You mean like afterwards?
Yeah. Seemed like this is the
Yeah.
kind of movie that would have an after credit scene.
There's an alternate ending though.
Ooh.
The alternate scene basically is she's in the hospital and the nurse comes in and is like, okay, well, we think you're going to be okay. And she's like, what day is it? And she's like, oh, it's Tuesday, the 19th. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And they're like, well, we're not going to give you any pain meds because they could like really mess you up right now because you're in really bad shape. And she's like, okay. And that doctor leaves. And then another nurse comes in and like has some like medicine and she's like, oh no, it's okay. Tree's like, no, it's okay. We're not going to do pain meds because I can't have any. And she's like, it's okay. It's for the pain. She's like, no, I'm not in pain. And she's like, not your pain, my pain. And she takes off the mask and it's the wife of the professor. Oh. And she injects like the IV with like a poison and it's like beep, 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 beep. And then like before the Tree goes like, you gotta be shitting me. Like before that, because she's like too weak to move. So she gets poisoned and killed by the professor's wife for being cheated on.
That's a pretty weak. I wish
it really, like, honestly,
Yeah.
you watch it and you're just like, oh, that is a terribly weak ending compared to what they went with. So, I mean, maybe an alternate, maybe a couple more takes, they could have played it off like acting wise better. But even then, like, after seeing that, I was like, oh, you guys made the right choice with this ending.
there was an alternate ending where at the very end, Ashton Kutcher comes out and goes, "You've been punked," and this whole thing was just an elaborate prank by her dad.
So it's like the game.
Yeah,
It's her mom. Her mom's alive this whole time. And she's like, surprise, got you, dog. Yo, you on punked right now, son.
you should have seen your face when you hanged yourself.
God. So anyway, that was Happy Death Day. You said there's a sequel, right? What does that have to do with?
Now, I didn't rewatch it because I didn't want to, but it came out a couple of years later. So basically, it is about your multiverse situation.
Okay, I'm in.
So
let's talk.
Tree's like a scientist now.
Oh, so Tree's still back.
Oh yeah, the whole main cast. Tree's there. Carter's there.
Okay.
The roommate, the fine vagina roommate. He's a character
all
now.
right, all right.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. In fact, the second one opens.
Your face when you said it. God, I wish we had a camera on these things just so you could be like, her face just like this disgusted, like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah. Well, the second one opens
Like a Meryl Streep level disgusted look. That was intense.
Yeah, it's fair. Well, you know what? He's a terrible character. But you do open, the movie opens from his point of view.
Oh, like walking up to the room being like, yo, did you hit that fine
Yeah,
piece of
you see him
vagina?
in his car, and his car is a
Look,
grody
they
mess.
know what people enjoyed out of that movie.
The main thing is it's a multiverse swap. So Tree from one universe gets swapped into another universe, and in this universe, her mom's alive.
Okay.
And so now in one universe, there's like an evil Tree or some shit, and then there's this new Tree who's like trying to pretend to fit in because now her, right, and her mom have all these memories that she really doesn't have. So she's like, oh yeah, it was great when we went to Cancun or whatever. And ultimately the moral is you can't
You got to
relive.
play the hand you're dealt.
Yeah, and she's got to accept that.
Does she keep dying over and over again in the second one?
Yeah, she does. I don't remember how that plays in. At one point, she goes skydiving in a bikini. I remember that. Obviously, that's stuck in my
All right,
memory.
let's see. Purchase Happy Death Day to you.
Yeah. So I don't fully remember it, to be honest. I'm sure there's a trailer out there, but you know what?
You think there might be a trailer
There
for this
might
movie?
be some sort of advertisement.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. So end of the day, I would recommend Happy Death Day.
I was very pleasantly surprised. I did not think I was going to enjoy it because it has some of the movie tropes that I really just don't enjoy watching. The repeated dialogue, scenes over and over again that I've already seen. But they did such an amazing job with it that I do recommend this movie. It was a lot of fun. And even though the gore was minimal, in hindsight, it left an impact. So cool. That's 3 recommendations for Happy Death Day. Listeners, what did you guys think? Hit us back on social media if you got recommendations, things you want to see, things you want to talk about. Hit us up. Shout out to all y'all who've been sending us message and talking to us about just cool rad horror shit. We appreciate it. Shout outs to the people who got me turned on to figuring out what vampires are called in a group. A brood is also what they can be called.
Oh,
Like The Brood?
Yeah. I guess so. But
Those were
anyway,
vampires though.
A brood of vampires.
yeah,
huh?
yeah. It was pretty. We got hit up by a listener who was telling us about
Okay.
this, so it's kind of cool. But anyway, thank you all so much for getting at us. We love hearing from you. We love talking to y'all. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you all in the next episode.